I definitely describe myself as a preservationist that has a lot of sentimentality in all the designs that we do. So this house really allowed us to have fun with that and show what that means to kind of have that personality type. I'm Laura Lubin. I am a designer and owner of Ellerslie Interiors, and this is my home in Nashville, Tennessee. There were so many things right out of the gate that really caught my attention with this home and really immediately made it feel like a place that we could raise our family in. The exterior of the home is just this classic, beautiful Southern cottage bungalow style, and it really just spoke to me from the outside. It really felt like a storybook home. And then when we came inside, it definitely needed some love brought back into it, but the bones were so beautiful, and the light that this house experiences is incredible. So we purchased the home in early spring. We went through renovations, and then we moved in at the end of July. And we quickly found out this house had struggled with a brown recluse infestation. So we actually had to move out. We lived in a hotel room for quite a while. We had a lovely company come down from St. Louis that helped to tent and gas the house. And it has been about a year and a half, and we have yet to catch one, see one, experience one, but it definitely was not the type of neighbors we were looking for when we moved in. So this is our family room, obviously where we spend the most amount of time. I went with the Ophelia sheer by Schumacher. The whole intention was to hide the drapery rod up underneath the beam, so you just kind of have this big, beautiful movement going to the ceiling. It allows for all this great natural light to come through, but just adds a little hint of kind of softness and movement in the space. Also in the family room, we played against this big, massive wall of windows and then what could sit on the other side of it. So we embraced this kind of bookshelf idea. We allowed for additional storage underneath, and I put antique mirror on the back to try to pull this light coming through the space and kind of have this open movement continue to complement itself throughout the space. Above it is really our personal kind of collection of things that we love. Everything on the shelf has a story or is meaningful to us. I mean, my daughter's, second grade little piece of artwork. There's a lot of fun, amazing moments for our family in this space. So this piece of artwork is super important to our family. Usually I wouldn't have, war photography or war artwork in a main living space. But Joe Rosenthal is my dad's cousin through marriage, and he was the one that actually took the photograph. So for my wedding, we were gifted a signed lithograph, which has just been really meaningful to us. We downscaled from 6,500 square feet with a 3-car garage. And this house is about 1,900 square feet without our basement, so above ground, with no garage. We had to stop and reflect about what matters, what do I actually care about, why am I holding on to these things, and really start to purge and live with just what we need. I get to cheat a little bit because I can store things at the studio. So this is our kitchen space. This was a really fun room to design because we approached it from a pure function and form standpoint, and we studied it as kind of a turn-of-the-century approach. So really creating this kind of yin and yang between our heavy weighted wall with our early Americana cupboard. And then on this side and behind me, I really deleted a lot of the other uppers. There is no actually other uppers in the space. Not very often in Tennessee, at least, are you designing down to like a 1/2 inch for a cabinet. But here we were. So I know I needed to get my dishwasher in, oversized trash can, and a 24-inch sink was about as small as I thought we could live with in the kitchen, which then allowed for the space to just be really opened up. It focuses on, obviously, this beautiful Tennessee view and this great piece of artwork. And probably my favorite moment in the house, not a space, is actually the kitchen window. Come like 3 or 4 weeks from now, the entire outside is just orange and red and just spectacular. This is our scullery. So in here, I wanted some privacy. I wanted a little bit of softness in the space, but I knew I didn't want a heavy fabric of any kind. So I picked the most beautiful embroidered, it's called the Etched Fern by Schumacher. But it just allows for this a little bit of delicacy, a little bit of feminine, but all the light still gets to come into this space. And then on this side of the scullery, we really wanted to approach it again as a functional spot, but keep that turn of the century vibe. I thought it just needed a little bit of whimsical touch to it too. So I actually lined the back with Schumacher's Cabana stripe, and it's just enough of this like blue and white and burst of kind of, you know, levity in a very functional space. I would describe my style as a hybrid of classic and whimsical, actually. So I really find strength in classical architecture patterns. I'm definitely a warm tone color girl. I love living and experiencing things that create an environment that just becomes engaging and inviting. And yet at the same time, I need to have a little bit of element of unexpected or fun. So this is the infamous dining room that really is visible from about 80% of our first floor and needed to set the tone. So it needed to be a space that was a jewel box, inviting, durable. So when I came across Colette Constantino's mural, I absolutely fell in love. We really wanted to take the time to find the right wallpaper. And what spoke to me about Colette's mural is that Schumacher and Colette did such a wonderful job working together, leaving things like the drip marks throughout the wallpaper. It reads far more like a organic piece of artwork than it does this like perfect repeating wallpaper that's just been, you know, edited out to perfection. So I love that story portion of it. The rest of the space, as you can see, is a challenge. It is tight and narrow. It took me a long time to find the narrow oval table that could still seat 6. And then by adding in these cane back chairs, it again just allowed for that kind of openness and feel throughout the space. This is our library space. Obviously, it's a collection of all of our fun books. We have really old, amazing originals mixed in with Harry Potter and the Wizard of Oz, and you know, it really is a family space. So as you can probably tell by now, green is one of my favorite colors. I also think it's a really relevant one in Tennessee. So most of the year we are flooded with this beautiful greenery coming through. I mean, just lush, dense greenery. So I wanted to embrace that, but I did it more in a light celery color. And then I layered some classic elements like a beautiful plaid fabric to kind of add just a little bit of a nod towards this traditional library environment. So storytelling is a huge part of my design aesthetic. We have a child that's in 3rd grade and is wildly busy, and what do we want to kind of create within this home? Well, we want to create the dichotomy of coming home and having this peace and having this family connectiveness. And how do we do that? And the narrative really is, okay, everything needs to be super approachable. Nothing can feel like it's going to break or it's delicate or it's precious, or, you know, we all can't get on the floor and play a board game after dinner. And so I think that storytelling is so key across all projects. So this is our primary bedroom. We've focused on just making it super peaceful and starting with our artwork. So we have Audubons above the bed, which again just felt super appropriate. They're light and bright. We have these small pops of color throughout, but in essence everything is cream and neutral and beige, but then we've layered in this kind of soft fabrication to it. After we moved in, I realized we would not be able to see outside the way that our bed is positioned with how deep the dormer windows are. So we added these oversized, larger mirrors. So when you come into the room, you actually don't experience them unless you are kind of in the dormer section or in bed. So that was a really fun addition. So now we can wake up and see outside. So this is my daughter's room, and when we moved here, she had 2 requests. One was that she really wanted a yellow ceiling. She shared that she didn't feel like anybody could wake up mad if she had a yellow ceiling, which I thought was just so sweet. And then her second request was that she wanted a trundle bed so that she could have friends over in her new space and have a place for them to spend the night. So we nailed that. We have the trundle bed and the yellow ceiling. And of course, you know, now we have added to it her summer camp as a permanent art installation here. So when I started designing Emmrich's room, I started actually with this fabric, which is the Las Colinas by Schumacher. It has so many beautiful color tones in it. It's whimsical, it's fun, it's unexpected, especially for a little girl, I thought. So very rarely do I pick a tiny little piece of fabric and develop a whole room, but in this case, that's exactly what happened. So another sweet detail in the house that we left was this great Dutch door. So we left it because my daughter loves to play like shop and pretend, and I thought I would have died as a little girl to have a built-in shop door. So oftentimes it's half closed at nighttime, or she'll be playing with her girlfriends and they set up a whole shop in the hallway and they play back and forth, which is really fun. I think the next round of practice is going to be for me of being okay with the fact that it's, you know, the horrible word done, right? Is it ever really done? I'm like, yeah, we're probably done for a little bit. Like, it feels like home. I don't come home and think, wow, I'm really missing X, or, you know, this is a big void in our life. So I think the new practice is going to be, instead of coveting, can I be patient enough to just enjoy the doneness? That's maybe what I'm coveting, is that feeling of appreciating the doneness.